Hi, welcome to today's tutorial. And in today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this awesome hover effect in CSS. So back up when let us get into our code. Okay, so as we always do, start with an exclamation mark to get our snippet built first. So we change this to pseudo. All right, so okay, I'm in. So we're trying to build this. So first we're going to go with a div, and then you always know that's my container. I'm going to name it container as always. So and the next thing we want to do is we want to display some of these elements. So we're going to go on with an ordered list. So an ordered list. So then we go on with a list item with home. So we're going to hold Shift and Alt to duplicate. So then I can change this, hold Alt and Shift and Control to select. Then you can change this to services. Services, you can change this to contacts. Then you can change this to profile. So profile. So now that we are done with our HTML, let's open with live server and see what we're going to get. So that's what we have now. So let's go on and style with our HTML with CSS. So we're going to do in-text styling as always, since it's not a heavy project. So we're going to do remove all main margins, paddings. So default margins and paddings. Let's remove them. Margin 0, padding 0. Sorry, padding 0. We're going to do box styling or else our browser will decide to add some width and height to our element when we are using or when we decide to use paddings in our boxes. So yes, border box now. Now I like to do list style. So list style none. So that's these stylings you will see them in a couple of seconds. So font family, we're going to go with carrier new. So that's the font family we're using. You can see it. Now let's go on and style the body. So body is going to be doing display flex, justify content center, align item center. We're going to be doing another one which will make us, so now we'll be using a dynamic viewport height called 100 dvh. So dynamic viewport height. So now we have this centered now, and we're going to give it a background. So background color of brown, so no black, like black and out. So black, then we're going to give it a color of white. Let's use white smoke, still the same color. All right, so now let's go ahead and style. Since I didn't give my element classes, I'm going to use this type of styling. So div element with a child element, so the parent element div with child element ul. We're going to do display flex, justify content center, align item center, and we're going to do, since we are here, we're going to give it a gap. To be able to use the gap feature, always use display flex. If you don't use display flex or grade, if you use grade or flex, then you can use the gap feature. So 30 pixels. So then we have this. All right, so let's go on and style our li. So ul with child elements li. So let's give it a font size of 22 pixels, and let's go on with font weight of 600, and let's go on. We are done most part of it. So let's go on and style our li when we hover. So our li before, before we start with content, we start with an empty content. Then we're going to go on with our, I would like to use the width of 0 for now, so that it doesn't show. We're going to go on with a height of 2 pixels. Maybe we might change it down the line to see, make our website nice. Then we can go on with also our display. So if you don't give it a display, there's no way this content will show. So let's say I give this a width of 10 pixels, it will never be displayed. Of course, let's give it a background before we give it the height. Background color, let's say brown. And let's give it a display of block, so that now we can see. Now you see that they are showing on the top of our program. So if you don't give it a display, it will never show. So that is it. We're going to go back to 0 for now. So 0. All right. So then we're going to do a hover effect. So when we hover, we want to do list hover. We want to show our before. So we'll give it a weight of 100% and transition. So we're going to do transition 0.3 seconds, going to do a cubic bezier. Bezier. Let's go with this. Oh, so yes, we start from the right to this corner to the top corner to the top right corner to the bottom right corner, then our last corner, left right, left bottom corner. Sorry. Yes. So that's what we have, and we're going to copy the same transition here. I love to have my transitions on both sides. So we're having the transitions here, and now when we hover, we should see our elements being animated. So that's what the cubic bezier does. So ain't this cool? So you can go ahead and add the after element also. So you can choose to add after so that you see both of them after. Then when we hover, we can add an after two so that it will be two. So we can do an after. And when we hover, see that they come in two sizes. Ain't this cool? I hope you've learned today. So this is the HTML pseudo element before and after classes that you can use to style your menu element to give them some nice shades. This is some cool effect you can get. So I hope you've learned today, and I'll catch you up in the next lesson. Bye bye.